Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today we'll get some special guests and some more blokes out of the Nashville area. We got the boys from Eldercall. How y'all doing today?
Good, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
That's bad. And just to fill everybody in, we got Alan, Shane, and Wally. Yeah, there we go. So, Waleed.
Sorry.
He said it kind of funny when he told you first.
Actually, let's just say he puts on some glasses and then the striped red and white shirt. Then we'll be like, oh, there's Wally right now.
Yeah, there he is.
Waleed. Okay, I'm going to try to make sure I get that right. So if it comes to it, I'll maybe just go with the first initial to make it easy. So
Okay, too.
all right. But other than that, how you boys been recently? What's new?
I mean, I guess good. We're just kind of getting things rolling again after kind of taking a step back a little bit as a band. Not like fully taking a step back, but like really taking time to figure out what we were going to do next. And now we're getting this album out there, and really, so from that perspective, things are going really well, at least for me, from my perspective.
Yeah, doing good. Just working on music whenever I'm not working to, actually make money.
Yeah, exactly. That's the struggle.
As the actually having to work to make money ended up, taking up a little bit more of our time than the other side of it.
I would say this is entirely to like a Kiss songs, like a Deuce, for instance, where you're telling your woman, I'm worth a deuce or something like that.
Yeah.
But I guess let's go ahead and jump into that first. I guess your new album, I guess, is still in the works, right? Closure.
Right. So it'll be dropping on August 1st here in a few weeks. So it is done and it's coming out, and it'll be ready to go here. It is ready to go. It just needs to be released, right? And then we have a new single coming out next week on July 17th. Yes, next Thursday. That'll be Farewell. I'm sorry I missed the question. I think I just kind of went into this is what we're doing right this second.
Got a lot of goodbyes on our songs, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot. The reception has been really good so far to it. A lot of people have really been into it, and that was for me. I know going into it because we had put so much work and time and all the other things that go into making an album, and especially with all the stuff that was going on around making the album, hearing that people actually are enjoying at least the first taste of what they're getting out of the album has been a really, really great relief and very cathartic in a lot of ways too, because it's like, okay, this was worth the pain and strife we've put ourselves through to get here to some point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I'm glad that it's finally out. That's mainly what's been taking us so long, is just putting the thing together and me waiting to get my everything straight to get it all out to begin with anyway. And that's what's taken so long, is all the stuff that we had been going through that it took to make the album. That's a
lot of moving parts and a lot of
life things,
life stuff.
Mostly
roadblocks, a lot of roadblocks and stuff. So yeah.
Apparently a lot of therapy too, if you're considering a lot of goodbye songs, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
As he said, it's definitely been a cathartic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that on the album. We through the course of the album, and we ended up losing quite a few people in our lives personally, and so that really inspired a lot of the lyrics, and a lot of the lyrics are about loss and moving forward, and even if it's not directly about loss of life, just loss of circumstance or change and things like that too, because it's something that I guess is universally felt. Not that was always necessarily our intention going into the album, but it was a through line that we ended up seeing.
It just happened
on the back end.
Yeah, it's really just stuff that we were feeling in the moment, and just kind of transferred it onto the page, I guess, or just into the music. So lyrically and musically. So.
Well, I was gonna say, was it also because of Lorna Shore? And I guess they're, I want to say it's basically split like three parts. No Pain Remains. That's her album there too. So
yeah, that was definitely an inspiration as well. But I mean, I think most artists tend to do the same thing. You know, any kind of artist's art tends to be a reflection of whatever it is they're going through. It's just how that they are able to express it at that time.
Right.
And I feel like most people, whether they be musical artists or any kind of other physical media, whatever, you know, whenever they look back on a certain piece or something that they did in their lives, when they look back at that, that is sort of an encapsulation of that time in their lives. And that's just kind of how you don't really realize that when you're making it, but then once it's done and you don't really realize what it's about until it's done. That's kind of how it felt anyway for me with Closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because like historically, like, so to give some like background, like the three of us have been in a band before this, and our other guitarist that's not with us right now, Drake, also has been in a band. We were in a band prior to this called Obelisk, and we were in that band for over a decade.
Yeah.
So in that, we took some of the things and lessons and themes from that band, kind of, sort of, because that's what we grew. And this is the more developed version, or at least that's how we like to think of it with Eldercall. But with Obelisk, we were more like telling stories and things like that. But with this album, it just ended up being a lot more real. And I think it came across in a much better way because of that, trying something different with that lyrically. And we still have some of that, but it is more in that kind of like,
it's more personal.
It's more personal this time around, for sure.
Actually, the way it made it sound, it's almost like Eldercall is the mature version, and then Obelisk was like the ready to eat for everybody.
Yeah,
I guess so. That's one way to look at it.
Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, we were, we started that band like right after high school and early 20s, so we were kids and we were figuring out a lot of that. Now we're in our mid 30s, so our perspectives and our experiences and all that kind of stuff have really changed and influenced what's important to us and what we want to talk about,
And this album was actually probably the first time that we've really wanted to express that stuff, actually make an attempt at expressing that stuff in music, in our music period. Because like you said, in the old man, like Obelisk and such, usually it was all about the riff. We wrote riffs, we just wanted something to be cool, and finding ways to make the song last longer than just the 3 minutes and the 3 or 4 riffs that we had written,
Yeah. And like even lyrically, like things were more just written like there wasn't really like a personal aspect to it at all. It's just more like, oh, what kind of like neat little story can we think up or whatever, and
fantasy,
run it through some kind of fantasy,
more power metal kind of in that way too,
like power metal lyrically, but not really musically.
But
definitely not musically. But I think the power metal theme or the power theme sort of still kind of comes through. And we
still love our we're nerds, so we love
nerds. Yeah,
we love fantasy and all that kind of stuff. So that's always going to find its way into all of our stuff forever.
We just don't want the Judas Priest sort of element with the high vocals and then something like that.
Man, if I could hit those notes, though, you best believe it. I'd be putting some of those in that album.
There are people that want you to be like another Dragon Force sort of band too, or something like that. So.
I mean, we'd all have to get better.
We'd all have to get so much better to play something like Dragon Force, but I'm happy with what we got, though.
Oh, for sure.
Well, then get good, son. What are you doing? Get good, that's all good too. So, well, we already kind of jumped into the first question right there too. So, but first off, just to get a nice little introduction, boys, welcome to my podcast. And the way it's going to work is we have been kind of jumping through some questions right now. So let's delve into more of the ones I had sent over to you, so we can learn more about you both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well here too. So,
cool.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Right, yeah.
All right. So start with Alan, then we'll work our way down the line. So, Alan, I guess what role do you play in the band? And I guess what's your backstory of how you became a musician up until you guys formed Obelisk?
My role, I guess, is kind of, do I say main?
Your main songwriter.
Main songwriter, I guess. I don't want to take credit from anyone else, but I do a lot of the songwriting. I do most of the lyrics is almost exclusively these two. I'm mainly the guy who comes up with like the general skeletal structure of a song, get it going, the general vibe of a song. I also do all of the
because he's the guitarist. You forgot you could sing.
Yeah, I'm the guitarist. Sorry, I play the guitar.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So yeah, and I've just kind of been the guy who does any of the recording that we do, because I've been doing that stuff, I guess, since I was like 20 or something like that. Maybe around 2010, whenever I first started doing it. Musically, I picked up the guitar when I was 16 years old because a friend of mine in high school started playing guitar, and I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I realized, oh man, you mean these teenagers, me, a teenager, we could actually be good at playing a guitar or something. Like, we could actually be musicians. And that was when I first kind of realized, I think I want to do this for my entire existence. So I got my guitar then and just sucked at it for about 10, 15 years, and decided I wanted to record myself sucking at it. So I started recording myself, and almost, I guess it's almost been 20 years since I've been playing guitar now, and just always have been a very musical person. Musically, my first movie I ever watched was probably Wizard of Oz, and musicals growing up as a kid. So I've always been a musical person. So that's my history with music.
I guess, were you guys real good friends in high school? I guess that's what you guys said earlier.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, we've all known each other since high school, but Shane and Alan are actually brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers.
Okay.
I don't know if you can tell, but
A little bit.
He had hair, or if I didn't.
You got the dad's genetic genes, whereas I think you got more mom's black hair. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. At least that makes sense. So I guess Shane, what's your story?
Well, for me is like I've always like enjoyed like music and stuff, but not since we were actually, we're brothers. He has always been extremely musical, so much to the point that he used to use music and singing as a way to annoy me
as the older brother
when we were kids. So actually, it's kind of a lie. There was a point in my life I hated music. Like I couldn't stand it because it was used as a format to torture me. But pretty much kind of where I had my big turnaround with music was honestly video games, because like I played like a lot of video games, a lot of like Final Fantasy and just fantasy style games, fighting games, which all have really great soundtracks a lot of times, and just really catchy hooks and stuff.
Devil May Cry,
yeah. Like you just kind of get like those hooky things into your DNA when you're sitting there playing them for hours and like just vibing on the music. But as for actually becoming a musician, it was whenever I got into high school and I ended up meeting this guy. He was just like, hey, we're doing a band. We don't have a bassist, and we need a bassist. And I like you. I think you're pretty cool. Could you play bass for us?
And that was it.
That was it. I was like, I've never played an instrument in my life. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. So they ended up teaching me how to play a song on like I think it was like Smoke on the Water on an acoustic guitar. That was my very first experience with something, like with a lot of people playing Smoke on the Water. But I basically played on a acoustic guitar to try to learn like some songs and stuff that they had, and until I eventually got my first bass. And then as soon as I got it, I was like, I always had this pressure of, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to let them down. So I would spend like 6 and 8 hours every single day sucking at the bass, like torturing my brother and my mom all day long on it. But I did it for like forever till I finally started to grasp it a ways. But saying all that, I'm not the bassist in this band.
No.
I am actually the keyboardist, because whenever we finally ended the original band Asgard that we played bass in, or I played bass in
high school.
In high school, after we ended it, I pretty much was like, I think I'm just kind of done. I guess I'm done with the band life stuff. So I guess I'm gonna move on. But they actually started a band which was Obelisk.
Just turned into Obelisk.
Yeah, they turned it into Obelisk, and he was just kind of doing vocals for it. And I went to see one of the shows that they were doing at a really dumpy venue. Mm-hmm. And while I was watching it, I was just up there, and I was like, I kind of miss this. I'm like, I really miss this. And so we shoehorned me in playing piano or like keyboard
on a Merry Christmas keyboard.
What I call a Merry Christmas keyboard. Yeah, it's just like
old Casio.
Yeah, wasn't even mine. Wasn't even my keyboard.
It was my cousin's.
Yeah, it's like she wasn't using it.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I quickly found out whenever I was playing keyboard, I prefer that instrument. Like I could express so much more that I liked musically through keyboard than I ever could bass. Because like I said in the beginning of the tale, I loved video game stuff. So I would just sit there and I would like learn to play like video game songs, like Song of Storms, just like little Final Fantasy battle themes or whatever. Like Tetris. Yeah. just anything. And like I felt like I could just express like emotionally things better with the keyboard. And I quickly jumped from just trying to do other like game songs to just doing my own stuff. And like I only really much can just play what I like to play. But yeah, I guess that's mostly it. And then I just gained like a bunch of other experience or like inspiration from melodic death metal. Like whenever I first heard Children of Bodom, they were a huge inspiration for me, and I absolutely love because they sounded like boss battle music. Like this is all while I'm in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I found Children of Bodom, and then Kalma, which is wearing that right now. Got a rep. Kalma, but yeah, a lot of European like mellow death style stuff, and it all just kind of my style just kind of comes from combining video games and
mellow death,
and a little bit of anime theme songs every now and then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the anime theme songs.
So I'm just a big ass nerd. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Alan's got you beat. He's got the TBZ shirt on there too. So
yeah.
Well, it's
I'm
just
wearing my
because
TBZ shirt too.
we didn't plan this.
We didn't plan this. It just
we didn't plan ahead at all.
I also have that shirt, so
It probably is.
I'm just not wearing.
It could have just as easily happened. We were all wearing Dragon Ball Z shirts.
Yeah, without meaning.
Without meaning to.
Someone should have wore some kind of video game.
That's
shirt.
I got my hat. I got my PlayStation hat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, PlayStation. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, video game, anime, metal.
Yeah, could have done that.
That's the band in a nutshell. Video game, animes, and metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess so. Actually, the way Shay was kind of describing it, it seemed like your house was like the equivalent of Guantanamo Bay. So all right, it's a cool story. So Wally, it seemed like you were kind of the brains behind the whole thing here, but I guess tell us your backstory and what's your role.
Well, I guess like to start with my role in the band, I'm the vocalist, and Alan does clean vocals, just to clarify too. So I do all the scream vocals, all that kind of stuff. Shane does some backups with that too, and then I play bass in the band. So like I guess my journey with music was like I don't really have anyone that plays music in my family very much. Now I do, but growing up I never did. But I grew up around a lot of different kinds of music because like my mom growing up in the 80s, she was a metalhead. You know, she loved like Quiet Riot and Priest and Metallica and some stuff like that. So I grew up around some of that stuff because of my mom, but she also liked country a lot. So I also listened to a lot of 90s country. I love Alan Jackson and that kind of stuff too. But like my dad, because my dad immigrated here in the 80s from the Middle East. So like he brought I listened to a lot of Arabic music growing up, as well as he always had a big love for reggae for whatever reason. So I grew up, I don't know how he found that over there, but he did. So like I grew up with reggae and a lot of hip hop because I like 90s hip hop, East Coast, West Coast stuff too. So like I had a lot of different things. And then eventually my dad had a nightclub for a little while, and I listened to a lot of EDM. So I kind of hit the whole gambit by the time I was like 11 or 12 in terms of like listening to a lot of stuff. But I didn't really start getting into metal and kind of figuring it out till I met this guy named Dustin, who was one of our longtime guitarists. He was a guitarist in Obelisk, in Asgard, for a long time until we got Drake, who's not downstairs with us right now. But Dustin is a lot of why I started doing music in the first place, or even thought about doing music, because we were friends. It was 7th grade. And, we had just watched School of Rock, and we were like, let's make a band. And he's like, all right. and I mean, like, I owe a lot to Jack Black in that movie, because the guy is hype enough to do it. Because we're like, yeah, they can do it. We can do it. Right. At the time I had just found like anime music videos, and I found this one that changed my life forever. It was Broly. It was a Broly video.
Always going to be a Broly.
And it was always going to be Broly, and it was set to Push It by Static X. And that moment on, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Because I fell in love with Wayne Static for quite a long time, like really try to emulate him in a lot of different. I even grew my beard in the same way and tried to do my hair like that.
He looked like young.
Yeah,
I
did look like a young Wayne Static. Like we've got if we could find the photo, like there's like a photo of him just with like that BC Rich, and he's just like leaning against like a rock wall or something, or a brick wall, and it's just. It looks just like
very edgy, very cool. But I was really into new metal and stuff, and I think part of that is because I like the rap stuff a little bit too, so that bleed over. But and my brother was also the first person that introduced me into real metal, because he borrowed a Rammstein CD from one of his friends when I was in elementary school. It was the live album in Berlin. And hearing that, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is awesome though. So Rammstein really ended up being a really big influence to get me interested in the genre overall too. But in terms of my journey, when we first started that band, I was a guitarist, and I was a guitarist in the band for quite some time. But I was never very good, to be honest with you. I just wasn't. And then I was never intending to be a vocalist. And what happened was we had our friend who was our vocalist at the time, and we were going to do this stupid show at school. It wasn't even a big deal, but he couldn't make it that day for some bullshit reason. And so I was like, well, we're going to fucking do this. We're going to do this anyway. So I was like, I know the words to everything, and I'm going to get up there and do it, except for one song where we enlisted one of our random friends who had never heard the song before in his life that could kind of halfway sing. We're like, you do Paranoid by Black Sabbath. But I was like, anyway.
The determination is astonishing. Honestly, I'd have given up as soon as he gave up.
Right. Yeah. So that was really the turning point for me to become the vocalist of the band, because I was kind of playing with the idea of doing the scream stuff, because the vocalist at the time really couldn't. But then because I took over that night, it just went well. That became the thing. So I was the guitar vocalist for a long time. And then when we started Obelisk, I dropped guitar and I was just vocals, because we had better people playing at the time. And then from there, I was only the vocalist all through Obelisk, and then my cousin was the bassist actually through the most of it. And he's one of the best musicians I know, out of this world bass player. Mm-hmm. Very large shoes to fill. But when we went into Eldercall, we kind of wanted to try. We kind of wanted to have less cooks in the kitchen, because we'd always been a 6-person band, and so we were like, well, let's just consolidate. Since I could play guitar, I was like, well, I can figure out bass, and I've been really hammering away trying to get better at it and find my voice within the same instrument beyond just emulating what the guitar is doing. And I felt like after some time, I've really tried to find that, and a lot of that's coming more from I really like punk music and post-punk and stuff like that too. So some of that, and I know that's partly because it's a little easier, but trying to find those vibes and how they fit into some of our spaces too. But in terms of being the quote unquote mastermind of the band, I think I just like making decisions sometimes, and everybody else doesn't always. So so I've ended up just okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Hey, let's do shows.
Let's do shows. Yeah. I'm not going to wait until it happens. I'm like, all right, because I always did that side of the band. I was always the public facing, a lot of that. I booked the shows. I talked to people. I'm the person who's been talking to you online. That's always been more my role. I've always kind of, I don't always love doing it, but I do well at it, and I do, I do enjoy it when I do enjoy it. So it's always a piece of the band that I can give to it, even when like sometimes musically I couldn't always contribute. That was a way for me, like I could give to the band in a really important way, so we could actually show off the things we had been working on and everything else.
Definitely the engine.
Try to be
definitely the engine of the band. I'll say for sure.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of like, that's kind of been the journey a little bit, like in terms of like those things. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I guess since you're doing both bass and vocals, I guess how hard was it trying to do both initially when you first started doing it?
Well, playing, because for a while in the band Asgard, when we were in high school, that's where I kind of started. And even some of the bands before that, I was kind of halfway doing that. It hasn't been, honestly, that part wasn't as much of an issue, being able to play and sing at the same time. It was just more of like sorry.
You're going to get a lot of that. He does that shit on stage too. Yeah, he'll just be rambling to the audience and all the time.
Sometimes I'll burp mid, like while I'm doing like vocals, but it comes. I hide it, but anywho, I think I hide it anyway. What was the question? I'm sorry. You got thrown off because the burp. I'm sorry.
Actually, we're going to say it made for a good censor, to be honest, there too. So whenever he wants to censor something, we'll just use that. But
there you go.
It was mainly doing two things at once, because I think back to like James Metallica. I think back to James Hetfield, because initially when Metallica started, it was always Dave Mustaine who was doing the guitars and he was doing vocals, and he eventually took over rhythm guitar, I should say, because he let Kirk do the.
Well, and James has always been someone I've always looked up to in terms of like holding down a band, because he is that rhythm, right? Like he holds it down in that way. And I'm the only Metallica fan in the band, so I'm the only one speaking to this, and that's okay. I've accepted that. But like for me, like that has been my goal in terms of like, because like my cousin, when he was in the band, because he was very, very skilled. He was a very flashy bass player. Like he, playing like Yngwie Malmsteen type shit in the band, and it was on a bass, and it was incredible, and it sounded fantastic. But we didn't always have a lot of bass because he was up on the higher registers doing some really interesting stuff. So that my goal coming into the band too was to try and hold it down more in that, be a bass player and try to be the bass. And so
that fundamental.
And so I'm coming back to playing a little bit more in the pocket. So like I'm thinking about the rhythms. The biggest thing was like marrying like my vocal rhythms with my bass rhythms, because sometimes they match and sometimes they don't. And so like that's the trickiest bit when it is tricky. And as we've continued to write, and I've developed my skill as a bassist, I'm writing harder parts for myself. So I'm starting to see where it's getting more difficult. It's getting harder the more I'm doing it than easier because I'm writing better stuff and harder stuff for myself too. And we all are. So
yeah, to also clarify, whenever we were in Asgard, he played guitar and did vocals at the same time. That's where he got used to doing it. Yeah, that was kind of the question.
that too.
But yeah, he went from there. He's like he's had a long period of playing and singing at the exact same time. So probably coming into
I wasn't starting at
Eldercall,
zero.
He definitely was not starting at zero. Coming into starting at Asgard, into Obelisk, and all the way into Eldercall, he's always done it. So he's very used to doing both at the same time.
And at this point in my vocals, I don't have to like think about it. It's just like keeping up with lyrics more than like keeping up with how to do it. You know,
like the Nike thing, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna jump into the history overall of Eldercall. I know it started with Asgard in high school there. Eventually came Obelisk, and then eventually came Eldercall. So I guess whoever wants to answer this question, I guess, what's the history behind Eldercall, and I guess where'd you get the names?
Well, you coined the term, so you get to answer the question.
So Eldercall kind of came about while we were still doing Obelisk. Obelisk was kind of reaching its, I guess, end phase, because we'd already gone through so many members, and like the time, like his cousin Ellie, who used to be in the band, he was sort of the OG member, and then he wasn't in the band anymore. And at that point, it just didn't feel like Obelisk anymore. Yeah. So I personally felt like I just kind of wanted to maybe close the chapter of Obelisk and move on to another name or a whole new band in general. So while that was going on, at the same time, I had kind of coined my own term as my own private solo project at the time. Because, like I said, I was, I had my own like little home recording studio with my own little tiny Focusrite, or at the time an M Audio interface, and I was doing everything by myself, covered in cables on a bed like this.
Literally.
And I came up. It took me a long time to come up with it, but I came up with the term Eldercall because like we said earlier, I wanted Eldercall to be something more personal instead of just. Obelisk was more like telling stories of, like fantasy stories, maybe horror stories or something. Like I said, we're D&D nerds, so we come up with that kind of stuff, especially him a lot. He's usually DM for us.
Yeah.
But like Eldercall, I wanted to be more personal, more emotional, being a massive emo fan from the early days myself. My Chemical Romance all the time. But I wanted it to mean something a little bit more than just fantasy stories. So Eldercall was what it meant to me was it's that moment, like we were talking earlier, of when I had the realization, oh, this is what I want to do with my life forever. When you finally find that moment where it's like, oh, this is why I'm here, this is why I exist, this is what I exist to do, this is my whole life's passion. When you feel that moment and you found that thing, you found your thing, to me it comes from somewhere else, kind of almost something exterior in a way. So it made me think it's like a call of some form. So elder call, and because elder is like, it's sort of touching on like elder gods in a sort of way, that sense of something
like an extended
something ancient, something that's beyond even your own comprehension, yet you can experience it. Something primordial, something that comes from somewhere that exists beyond time and outside of mankind's understanding. But all people feel it, and that, to me, that is the elder call, and that moment where you feel this pull of, oh, what you got to do with your life, and then you follow it,
Yeah, we've also kind of like, just like talking around, having like a little bit of like philosophical connections to like making music and stuff, is like we've kind of said before, it's like sometimes it feels like just the way that we write is sometimes feels like it's like we're not really writing something like out of our heads or doing it. It's almost like music. It just exists.
It's like you're channeling
it. It's like it exists in an aether realm,
right.
And you're the vessel that it decides to come to and produces the music through your hands.
That's the real good stuff, know.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how Eldercall got started at the very beginning of everything. And then when we finally closed the chapter on Obelisk, they kind of came to me and we were like, well, what do you want to change the name to or do whatever? And they were like, well, do you want to just use Eldercall? Because it was already sitting there waiting, and I'd already written a couple of things for it anyway.
Yeah, I remember we were at what was it? We were at a
we made the decision. We were at
Auditory Carnage, wasn't it?
Yeah, Auditory Carnage.
We were playing a festival in Kentucky, and we were at this place called the Mag Bar, and we were just all sitting there talking about it, and that's where we made the decision.
Yeah. I remember I was like, well, we could just use Eldercall. I think that's a cool sounding name. Like, it sounds really cool.
Because we were shopping a few, but that was the one.
I was so happy. So that's just sort of how Eldercall got its beginning, from the ashes of an old band, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Then Shane finds out it was Alan who came up with the name. He's like, God damn it.
It's like, I tried so hard.
Right.
Getting ones that was pitching.
Yes. That was my idea. Alan didn't do anything. So, yeah. All right. So I can sit there. Actually, it seemed like you were kind of touching on the Elder Gods you hear about. I don't know. Did you guys play Bloodborne at one point?
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh,
I tried.
Bloodborne.
It's too damn hard, but they are massive fans.
Don't bring it up. That this interview will become us talking about Bloodborne.
Truly, I'm a freak. I'm a Bloodborne.
Talk
freak.
about music, video game music that Cleric Beast, man. Oh, his theme. Wee. So good.
Actually, you also hear the scream in the beginning right there, and then you're.
Yeah.
So actually, the very first time you hear it too, and I'm sure it was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
What's going
No,
on?
I'm scared. I'm scared, man.
Such a good game. Such a good game. Peak
Yeah.
FromSoft for sure.
I really wish they would make a second one at some point there too.
No, we're gonna get it.
It's got.
We're gonna
It's
get it.
gonna be
I
printing
think-
money.
yeah.
It's printing money. They know they got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. He's sitting on it. He knows it's coming out.
Miyazaki just wants us. He likes us to be in pain.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
wants us to wait
Clearly.
for it.
I've tried too many times to play FromSoft games. They're just too damn hard for me. I will stick with my Zelda and my Final Fantasy and my Tactics Ogre for right now.
Yeah.
I get all of them.
Like people are gonna say, "Get good, son."
Nah. I get okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, fair enough there too. So I don't know when was Eldercall officially formed, but was it officially formed during COVID?
Yeah. Well, we formed like just before.
Just before.
Because our last show as Obelisk was December 2019. And then we had made the announcement in February that we were Eldercall. We had made the decision before that, but we had made the announcement and released our first single that February. And then then we went to we had some tours lined up that summer, and we actually, me, Shane, and Drake went to Philadelphia to pick up a bus from one of our friends' bands, Cognitive, that's up there.
Yeah,
and he's also in Waking the Cadaver, Rob, the guitarist for that band. So we went up there, we picked up a bus, drove all the way back here because we're like, we're gonna be on the road, it's gonna be sick. And then literally the next week, quarantine happened, and then everything fell apart.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, it was crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure while we were on the flight, that's when like the whole
Things were starting to lock down then.
Yeah, like everything was like, there's something going on. So
We flew from Nashville to Philly for $30
yeah,
because they were like, because things were starting to go bad, you know.
yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, yeah, let's get these cheap ass tickets. Go pick up this bus and do this thing.
Yeah, we broke down outside of
Denny's.
Denny's. No better place to break down if you're going to break down.
Yeah.
But we got it running and going, and we made it back safely after that.
And then we didn't get to use it anyway.
Because COVID happened. Yeah. So
Yeah.
never got to use it at all.
Except for the ride down.
Yeah, except for the ride down.
We got to pretend.
Yep.
I wasn't a part of that.
No. But yeah, so yeah, that is partly why it took so long, you know, just as like a follow-up to that. That's partly why it took so long for the album to be done and out, is because that was a big emotional setback for the band. That really took a lot of wind out of our sails for sure, because we were so hype on what we were going to get to. We only got to play one show as Eldercall before everything shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was we did okay, and so it was kind of a bad feeling to leave off of. To be like, okay, well, now we don't know when we're going to be able to play, and you know, with all that, and because at the time it was just so up in the air for so long, no one knew how long and whatever else, right? And, you know, obviously we all experienced the same thing. Not to go down that road, but like, so for us, finding the time to want to get back to it, and like, you know, finding a reason to get back to it and a way to connect back with it it took time.
Yeah, a long time.
So,
4 years. 5 years, something like that.
And you know, within that was just one piece of the multifaceted things we were all dealing with throughout that last, you know, those couple of years too. COVID was just the big kick in the nuts for the band, and then here's all this, you know, other life things,
personal shit that each person experienced
around it.
Yeah.
So,
I guess while we're still on that topic, I guess what'd you guys do during COVID, and I guess how bad was it for you personally and family wise?
well,
we actually got COVID on when we went to Philadelphia.
yeah,
Like the day,
Go figure. They were in a plane with people.
yeah, the day we got back, I remember like I was like, I just got really, really like like tired, and I remember laying down like in the bed and like waking up, and like my uvula was like swollen huge, like where it's like it was like down in my throat, and I was like like breathing was hard and it was so sore, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It's like I've never had something like this happen to me before. What's happening? And then slowly, like I lost my taste and everything, and like it all, like everything just like disappeared.
You know, COVID.
Yeah, COVID. You know, we know what that is.
I mean, and I was sick. I got sick. I think I got a little bit more sick than Shane did, and I ended up, because I already booked to do this like cover show, and I was doing some August Burn Red covers, and I was like, well, I can't not do it. Now that they're shutting everything down, I don't know when I'm going to get to play again. So I'm going to get up there and do this thing, and I should not have. That was irresponsible of me, but I didn't realize what I was doing at the time.
You didn't know you even had it at the time.
Because like, you know, there was no COVID test. It was like the first week.
Yeah, like literally when this happened, like it was when everything was just
they had just
starting,
initiated
like
quarantine.
Yeah,
we didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, so yeah, that was that. But I guess like in terms of like how it affected the band, I mean, it made us like. It made it hard to want to do anything because it was like, well, what are we doing it for? You know, what's the point of if we don't know, right? And the uncertainty, I think, is what it hurt the most, because like we all know, it just lasted seemingly forever, and especially when you're in the middle of it, it felt like there was no end in sight until there was, and you know, it was just so it just made it to where it was really difficult. And you know, like we said, I think that was the first thing to kind of put it down, and then you know the other extenuating
stuff after that. We had friends die
within like two friends die within a week of each other, and that was really hard.
Yeah,
my dad got diagnosed with cancer right before that, and so I was dealing with that mentally, like, oh God, you know, because he's immunocompromised and all that kind of stuff, and my grandmother passed away, so like we had a lot of things going on.
I mean, our friends that did. They did not get COVID. They didn't die from COVID.
It wasn't because of COVID.
Yeah, they died from other things.
But it was but it happened.
It all happened within that time, and it was just pressure after pressure just got dumped on.
So the band just didn't have a place at the moment.
Yeah,
you know,
almost like a rapture going on whenever you think about it there too. So
so it felt like it was just like, well, the hits just keep coming, right?
Yeah,
for a second there.
I guess so, but. In all seriousness, sorry for any losses you guys down along the way.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. But good to see you guys are doing well there too. Yeah, good to see you got better. So
of course.
Yeah, it was a flowing experience.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I actually have interviewed a couple of friends out of the Nashville area. I guess first off, have you heard about Grizzly Ironside?
No.
Good friend of mine, actually. I was just talking to him before we hopped on here too. And I interviewed him not so long ago. He's rides solo. He does his own backing tracks, that sort of stuff there too. So, but he plays guitar, and he comes to Nashville. He comes from the Murfreesboro region, so and he comes into Nashville to party, as they would say.
Yeah.
That's what you got in Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro's we had a lot of really great shows down there when we were playing in Obelisk as well.
Murfreesboro had a great scene.
It's got a great metal scene.
I guess I mean, we get us from Murfreesboro here too. I guess how's this music scene been in Nashville and Murfreesboro from your perspective? Has it been back on the rise since COVID?
I feel out of touch. I'll be honest with you, dude.
Yeah, we've kind of fallen out of touch with everything. It's like I said. I mean, we've been out of it ever since COVID. Is how long we've been out of it. Like when COVID canceled everything, we played maybe 3.
We played like 5 shows as Eldercall.
We played 5 shows as Eldercall,
and 1 was before. And 4 was after.
And like those other 4 were so like separated.
Yeah.
You know, and that was almost, I think it's been maybe a year since we played a show now.
Or more.
Actually.
No, it just hit a year, because First Fragment was about a year ago.
Okay. And he knows more about the scene than any of us, because he does most of the booking and stuff. I show up to play the shows.
Well, I mean, you know, the scene's changed a lot. There's new bands coming up and things like that. But like in terms of like, it's my understanding of it, like there is metal in Nashville, but it's not necessarily, and it never has been really our style. We've always kind of just been the only band that did what we do. But now there's less bands like adjacent. It feels like there's a lot more like in the hardcore scene and things like that. And the hardcore scene in Nashville, Murfreesboro has always been pretty strong. It's always been like a very stable force within like the music community. And we're seeing that now, and still holding true. A lot of the local shows. And you know, I actually ran into one of our good friends, Andrew Wampler, who was in this band Ophusius, still is, and also in another band called Oubliette. He, you know, big black, does black metal stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
Really great stuff. And like he connected me with a newer band from Nashville that they were up and coming, like 20-year-olds and stuff. So it's still happening. It's still cooking out there. But I definitely think it took a really big hit. And a lot of the bands that we were playing with at the time didn't come back. And you know, it has been a big reduction in that. And
I mean, we're still coming back.
we're still coming. And the thing is too, a lot of, I mean, beyond just COVID things, like Nashville as a city itself is like changing. And so like a lot of the venues we used to get to play at don't exist anymore. And so there's a limitation on some of that, and like the kind of venues that play the kind of music that we do. So like even for us, like Eldercall, a lot of the shows we played, or at least 2 out of the 5 we played, so almost half or almost the majority, we played out of state. And when we were Eldercall or Obelisk towards the end, most of them were starting to become out of state because like Kentucky and even Chattanooga, like that's still in state but not in city. And like playing around regionally, we got a lot better response, a lot better crowds. And
anytime we played outside of Nashville, like people they go crazy.
Yeah. Because like the Nashville scene, like I would say from like 2006 to 2015 was really healthy.
Yeah.
It was really strong. I mean, we had some fucking awesome talent that would go through a lot. Like bands that went on to become huge bands, you know, like Whitechapel and things like that would play local shows and things like that. And like, you know, even like Inferi, that's also from Nashville, you know, they've since the end of that kind of boom, they gone on to a lot of success, which is amazing. And, you know, but what that's done is taken out a lot of big talent and big voice in the scene. And not that they shouldn't have done what they needed to do, right? But there was a vacuum that no one filled. And that's just kind of what happened to some degree too. And I mean, at least that's from my perspective of like talking to people and kind of seeing things. And I'm sure, you know, if other people in the scene might disagree, but you know, that's been my perspective, kind of keeping up with as much as I have been, and through historically keeping up with it. So, you know, I think too, just one last point. I think it's hard to be a musician now. I mean, it's always been hard to be a musician. Don't get me wrong, but like in the day, in the modern era, in terms of like, besides like, we all know you have to be like, you know, a social media manager and your own producer and all these other things behind the scenes. But then in front of the scenes, you know, when you're playing a show, you're competing with like 1,000 other ways for people to get entertainment readily.
Yeah.
It's like,
specifically in Nashville.
And especially in Nashville, you know, like besides like anybody, you can go see you can walk 2 feet and go see live music anywhere. And then beyond that, it's like, but you also have to convince people to get off their ass from their Netflix or whatever at home and actually come see it, right? And then it's tough. And you know, and I'm not saying the bands don't. Obviously, bands still have a lot of success and turnout, but for that starting stage, it's getting harder and harder. It seems like for bands to get that jump and build that base. So where before somebody would just be like, I'm just gonna go to this show because fuck it. Not that people don't, not that no one does that, but that number is getting smaller. It seems like. So. Anyway, I know there's a long answer, but
nice little tirade for you.
Yeah.
You just need a vent right there, but But were you going to say something?
You probably, but I forgot what I was going to say.
That happens a lot.
I'll be honest with you. It's probably another comment about just specifically how specifically Nashville, because music is so readily available in Nashville, people don't have a need to show up. They can show up whenever they feel like showing up. So to kind of further with what he was saying, if you are going to be a band that's going to start out in Nashville, whether you're in metal or not, if you're going to be a band or a musician at all, it's doing anything in Nashville specifically is extraordinarily competitive, even though it shouldn't be. It tends to be that way because, music is so readily available to the public that they can get it whenever they want it. So that's why anytime we go anywhere out of state, it's like, oh, this is like the first show that they've seen in a while, or any kind of a metal band, and especially metal as well. I think I remember what I was going to say. The metal scene involved in Nashville specifically, I think it's still healthy, I'd say, but it has always been small. Mm-hmm. It's always been a very small scene, and they kind of keep to themselves. I think it's just been, every so often it'll be like a long period of time where the small little metal scene's going, and then you have something that pops up real quick. And that was, I think the last one we had was, I would say, Inferi. Yeah. Inferi, and to me, Oubliette. I've always been a massive fan of Oubliette. I think they're great. But those two, they've made the biggest splashes recently, and kind of like since then, we've kind of dove back down, and we're just waiting for the next
big peak.
We're waiting for the next big peak to come through. Maybe it'll be us.
Oh yeah.
Eventually. Never been hopeful, but I guess at the same time, you also think of the tragedy and also the stuff that happened in Nashville, mainly last year. I guess they got all the bad storms and the rock slides and everything too. So they said it's going to be a while before it goes back to what it was initially. So I wasn't sure if that meant a lot of traffic was coming through Nashville now, or is it just, have you not really noticed much of a change?
I mean, I think more or less it's kind of back to normal.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's mostly back to normal. Like, Nashville never stops growing, even though like all of that stuff has happened, it never stopped growing. People didn't stop moving to Nashville.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's still tons of people coming in.
Mm-hmm. So
it's good to hear, but keep up the good work, the boys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So I guess it's going to jump to the real fun topic of gear. So I guess what you boys got?
Gear.
Gear.
So mostly in the band that I use, I'll say in the band, my guitar, I have two guitars. I play the 7-string, which is a Schecter Banshee 7. I love that little thing. It's in dire need of a fret job, I'll be honest with you. It's got 81, 85 7s, because it's a 7-string pickup or 7-string guitar. I feel like I want to change those out though. I really want to either do maybe some Seymour Duncan or I might do Fishman Fluence. I don't know. Everyone's doing Fishman Fluence, and they're great. I really like how they sound, but I think I might be leaning towards Seymour Duncan at some point. But anyway, I digress. The other guitar that I use in the band mostly is my PRS, the Mark Holcomb signature, because I like periphery. And I think that the setup that he chose for that guitar was exactly what I was looking for. I had like a list of specs that I wanted on a guitar, and I just started plugging those specs in one time, or multiple times actually, and that guitar just kept coming up over and over and over and over. And I've always been the kind that was like, I don't want to get someone else's signature guitar. I want to find my own signature guitar, But after running searches and searches and searches for so many different kinds of things for the very specific specifications I had, that guitar met like 80 to 90% of them. And I broke down and got it, and I did get it, and I'm honestly in love with it. And that's my 6-string guitar that I use. The other ones that I have that I use lightly here and there in some spots is my actual favorite guitar I have is my Fender Jaguar. I'm not sure exactly the year it is. I want to say it's Mexican made. I want to say. I don't know. If only Drake was here to tell me everything about my own guitar.
Yeah,
because he would.
Yeah,
Drake's the gear nut.
Yeah.
Other than that, our amps that I use specifically is I have a PV6505, and I want to use that more. That used to be what I used all the time live, but at the beginning of COVID, I ended up getting a Kemper, and I'm absolutely in love with that Kemper amplifier and mod, I guess profiler. We'll say it that way. It's a little bit different from Axe Effects, but other than that, I try to stay a little more to the true side. Next time I do any kind of like recording, I want to stick specifically with the 6505, and got to have that Ibanez tube screamer in the front of it, and got the good old classic. What's that? What's that?
Your noise gate?
My noise gate. I have that noise gate. I can't remember what it's called. The decimator. That's
Decimator.
Isn't it sad? It's been so long since I've had to use it that I can't even remember what it's called. You know, I mean, Kemper's got its own like multiple layers of noise cancellation on it, so I don't even have to think about it anymore. But I'm not much of a gear nut. I guess I'm more of an amp. I'm more of an amp and pedal nerd than I am a gear nut. Nut. And then
Nerd.
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of keep my my gear. I like to keep it simple. It's kind of like I think in cooking. In cooking, I think you throw too many spices into something and it just gets convoluted unless you're doing Indian cooking.
Then it's all spices.
And then it's all spices, but
including allspice.
Including allspice. But I like a simple, straightforward approach as far as gear goes. With the exception of if I ever had much expendable income, I would have probably tons of pedals. I love guitar pedals, but I don't know what I would use them for, but.
Look at them.
Just play
probably look at them, play them for like 5 or 10 minutes, then move on to the next one. Yeah. But they're great toys. But as far as like our guitar stuff, most of our guitar tone is just straight up, just heavy distortion, and you don't get any better distortion than a high gain amp that's got a tube screamer in the front of it with. Got to have a cab that's got vintage Celestion 30s as well. My current cab is an old Line 6 that does have V30s in it.
That was better than it ever should have been.
Way better than it ever should have been. But now that I hear it right beside Drake's Mesa Boogie, which is a
big one.
That's a big one. It sounds so much better, and I'm going to have to get it. If I could, I'd also get an orange cab. I would love to have an orange cab and run either the 6505 or at one point get a 5150 and run it through that. Maybe a Mesa triple rec, one of those, but because orange cabs they have a certain low end response that I just think is amazing. So there you go. That's my my gear in guitar world. Shane, on to you.
Mine's gonna be short and simple. I play an Arturia Keylab MK2. I absolutely love it. It makes recording things so easy because it's just like, okay, here we go. I'm recording something. Oh, I messed up. Let me bop 2 buttons and I get to start over again. Bop 2 buttons, I get to start over again. Like there's no doing all this to be able to just stay in and actually record something. Mm-hmm. So
simple and streamlined.
Yeah, simple, streamlined. I have some I got like a few plugins and stuff that I use, like some different piano sounds that I normally play with, but like a lot of that's like just in stock. I use some Metropolis plugins for usually backtracking purposes and stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. Say what?
It's saying Cubase.
Well, yeah, that's not my instrument though.
But
I guess it's technically. Yeah, I use Cubase to
house everything,
pump everything through. But yeah, other than that, nothing else.
Simple, straightforward.
Straightforward. That's the way it is with the keyboard.
Take note, Alan. That's how you answer a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's all good though. It's all good. But anyway, well,
I wanted to nerd out about my gear for a moment.
We could be long-winded. I'm sorry.
it's all good though too. So I guess Wally.
Yeah, I use a PV 810 cab tower that I got hand me down from my cousin. That's the cab that I use. It's great. It's like a 90s pre-Fender PV. It's just a workhorse, just like a really solid cab. In terms of my head, I have a dark glass. I forget which one. What is it?
It's right beside us.
It's right beside me. It's got what are the two different ones? Oh, it's the Microtubes 900 V2.
That's what it is. So it's got the two different tones. It has a kind of like a classic kind of like I don't know, like kind of more of like an Ampeg kind of tone, but then it also has a nice distorted tone that's not overbearing, so you can add some of that rougher stuff, which is a lot of why I got it, and it's loud as shit. It's incredibly loud. So barely, you're barely above 1, and that is all you really need. The only other thing I really throw on there sometimes, I have a big muff that I like to use, like a big muff pedal. Big muff, mainly just one song in particular called Sorrow that's on the album, that's like slow and low kind of thing, so it just adds like big space to that song. But for the most part, I kind of keep it a little distortion but fairly clean. In terms of the actual basses I use a Jackson 5-string with some Bartolinis in it, that I just had Drake do like a year and a half ago, and it's been really great. And then I borrow an Ibanez. What's the model on that 4-string?
It's just one of those RG models. It's
Yeah,
something simple. It was originally his. I got it for him for when he was in Asgard, their original band in high school. So it has Bartolinis in it as well, and it just sounds excellent.
It's an incredible bass.
$800.
So we use that one a lot. We use the Jackson.
Was it 500? I thought it was 800.
And then I have like a Fender. My Fender is just
kind of neat, but I don't use it for the band anymore because it has too much punchiness and it just kind of flops a little bit for the tuning that we're in.
It's much better for
like punk or something like that.
It's a gnarly sound.
Yes, and it's a double humbucker J bass, and you can't find those. So like I'm never going to change it, but I love that bass. I wish I could use it in the band, but I can't. But that's my favorite bass that I have, though. It's just a 5-string J bass with double humbuckers, which is a lot of things that you don't see together on an actual Fender product. So it's cool to have. They only really made it for like a year and a half. So they're not like super hard to find. Well, they're harder to find, but they're not like expensive. So if you want one, I would recommend getting one. They're really cool. They're very fun bass. But that's all my stuff. Now, if Drake was here, we'd have another 2-hour interview for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I did ask about Drake. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier. I guess how did you guys meet Drake?
So, Alan,
I met Drake working at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I'd quit my old job at Kroger and just started working at another grocery store, like a local hometown grocery store. And lo and behold, this little weirdo was working there too. And he was the coolest person there to talk to. And then we just started talking. We actually kind of started bonding over talking about Modest Mouse and other like just weird music, because when you're in a small town filled with, country folk and rednecks, that's, if you meet anyone that knows anything at all about Modest Mouse, and you're probably going to talk to him about it, extensively. And then found out he was a musician. He played guitar. He repaired guitars. I got him to do a couple, maybe even a repair on something of mine, or a cousin of mine actually did something with it, with one of his guitars. And we just sort of, anytime we worked together, we just talked about music and cartoons, and eventually he just sort of got into the friend group, and him being a great, and then while we were still in Obelisk, before he joined, he was basically teching for us. He would come to shows for us.
Yep.
And
He was originally our tech first.
Touch
Yeah.
up our gear, do all that kind of stuff for us. Yeah.
We paid him in Taco Bell.
We paid him in Taco Bell because we didn't get paid. So and then
He was just happy to be
He was
there.
just happy to be there.
But then, Dustin, our longtime friend, who's still one of our really good friends, he had moved far away and decided to leave the band because it was just a haul for him to come to practice and shows and so forth. And so it was really easy to slot Drake into that spot because we knew Drake. We liked Drake. Drake's a really great guitarist. And he's a very, he plays metal and he's good at metal, but that's not where his foundation is. So he brings a lot more of some of that interesting, like if you hear the solo on Wayfarer, that's a lot of bluesy
more of
twang.
a bluesy, kind of a classic rock vibe.
And Drake really brings a lot of that with his lead lines and stuff. And so it really adds another interesting thing.
It's really altered our sound in a really fun way. It's really good.
Yeah.
And if you were to sum Drake up in a few terms, he's just a cool cat.
He's just a cool cat.
He's just a cool cat, dude.
As if I was going to be a cool nerd, to say the least. Yeah.
He might be the most normal out of all of us. So, yeah, right over there hiding in the stairwell.
I guess so. Actually, do you guys program your own drums then? I don't know who's really the drummer.
Well, we had a drummer for a while, but all of the drums have been programmed by me. I did all of the drum programming, and the majority of the songs that you'll hear on the album were initially kind of fleshed out by our older drummer, but we needed to tighten them up in certain ways, and just some things really needed to be changed and kind of overhauled. So I did a lot of little extra programming kind of here and there to flesh it out. And some of the songs were written after he was gone, so it's just
Some of it's just fresh.
pure fresh programming on the drums.
Yeah.
And do you guys do it yourself in terms of the mixing and mastering, or do you ask somebody to help you out with that?
I
That's
do all of
It's
it.
all Alan.
Mhm.
I do all the mixing, all the mastering, all the recording.
Well, we've started recording our own parts, but that's the only.
Well, I mean, I'm manning I'm piloting it.
Yes.
But yes, but as far as the performance, I do want to capture each member in the band, because I don't want it to be Alan and the boys. I want it to be Eldercall, so everything it's the individual members that's been captured, but I do all the mixing and mastering.
Mhm.
Which I
Damn,
hope,
son, you thinking and shit. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, wears a lot of hats.
There's a lot of hats. We all have to. That's
Mhm.
the.
Let's give it up for Alan right there, too. Hey. But good work, this son. In all seriousness, good
I
work.
appreciate you.
No worries. So, I guess maybe at some point, would you guys consider maybe entering a studio if you guys did have the money at some point? Or you're just going to keep rolling it DIY?
Oh, for sure. I think the only thing that for us, it was just we could spend the money to go to a studio and maybe have an okay experience, or we can spend the money and build out and take as long as we fucking need to make sure it's done right. And I think we've done studio stuff in the past. We have gone to a studio with Obelisk, now with Eldercall. And the experience was great and it was really fun. It was awesome. And I'd love to get back to that. But I don't think even at those points, we weren't ready to be in a studio yet. We had the songs down, but we didn't have the attitude or the readiness that we needed to do them right. And even when we were going through Closure and writing this, by the time we got to the end of the album, I felt man, we could really kill this in a studio if we did that today.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to, for me, and I think I can speak for the three of us, I think we would all love to do it in a studio next time.
Absolutely.
If we could.
For me, I would love to do studio again, but honestly, just from past studio experiences and with how he mixes and masters things, honestly, what would be the most important thing for me would be the actual engineer.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just go to a studio
Mhm.
and have any old engineer work with your music, because we've worked with some people before, and it's like, oh hey, he's doing a good job on this, but it's like this specific part in the song, it doesn't feel like the way I feel like it should feel like.
Right.
But Alan can capture a lot of that himself by working on it on his own,
because he knows.
Yeah,
because he's in the thick of it.
Yeah, he's in the thick of it all the time. We all sit there and we have extended time to be able to collaborate too with what it should sound like and what should happen here and all this and that. It's like sonically.
Yes.
But yeah, when it comes to going back to the studio, I would honestly be pretty picky about finding an engineer where I'm satisfied with what they do with one of our songs.
I have a game plan already for all of that.
So, and hopefully eventually we get to do that, because to Shane's point, it's like they could be extremely competent as a sound engineer, but if they don't get metal, or they don't like metal, or they don't like what we're doing.
And sometimes it's not even if it's just metal in general. We have I'm not trying to be huffing my own farts here or nothing, but we have we have a distinct kind of sound, a sound that is kind of,
it's unique even in the metal world.
Yeah, compared to what we're used to being around. Mm-hmm. A lot of studio engineers in Nashville that work with metal, we would still end up being a kind of a weird anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Or needy.
Yeah. Or needy.
Yeah.
However you want to put it. Yeah.
I think as far as going into a studio, I would love to go to a studio. It's just in the old days, what made it difficult in the old days was not having, I feel like, no offense to you guys, not having a clear vision for the end product of what it's actually going to sound like. And you're just going in there hey, buddy, we got these songs. We've been practicing them in this garage. We're going to go hit record in a studio.
Trust me, I know.
And that's cool. But having the full concept of what you want an album to be, the production and how it needs to come across as a whole, that is what pre-production is all about. So next time that the next album comes out, and if we get to do another album, which I think there's definitely going to be another album, if we do get to go to the studio, hopefully it'll be a nice amalgam of a little of column A, a little of column B, and just go in there and really get some good sweet tones, and hopefully we crush a good performance myself. But yeah, I would definitely be down to do some studio work if possible.
You guys will have to see, but keep doing what you're doing right there too, then
let
it all roll from there. So
absolutely.
All right. So I guess this would kind of tie in with AI and even social media these days. So I guess what do you guys make of them these days? A double-edged sword?
I guess, and I'm only speaking from my perspective, of course. I think that AI is one of those things where if used as a tool, it can be okay, but I just find that most people don't use it that way, and it's being used more as an answer, right? Because we like making dumbass AI songs and laughing at the lyrics and the whatever, and it's that's fun, whatever. We do. It's not like we're adverse to AI, of course, but I think it's a part of knowing that, I don't know, we're just knowing how slippery of a slope it can be if you're just not aware of how you're using it and how you're engaging with it. And I think that's the most important thing, more than anything else, is just understanding what you're doing while you're engaging with it and making decisions around that and that kind of stuff, and just being conscious of it. Because, like I said, it's easy to start letting it do everything for you, and then you're not really creating or doing or being a part of the process that you've wanted to be a part of initially anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. For me, AI is just kind of it's like the new internet, I guess you could say. It's the new Wild West when it comes to, I guess you could say, creativity. Mm-hmm. And it's just at this point it's here. You're just you just have to evolve with it, or there's nothing you can really do about it. It's just going to continue to do more and get better. And I'm sure there's going to be I've messed around with AI and AI stuff as well, and there is a level of at least with how well it does its thing, there is a level of technique to using it. Mm-hmm. And you can't just do just anything with it. By just doing anything, you can do a lot, though. That is possible. But when you like really get into the nitty gritty of using it, it does have like a little bit of craft. There's like some craft there.
There's some nuance.
Yeah, there is a lot that kind of does go into it. But that's not like me saying like, oh yeah, man, AI is just great. It's awesome. It's more or less it's a force of nature that's here now, and we just have to learn to adapt with it and around it, or whatever what happens.
Yeah, it's a force of nature that we've created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a storm that's already begun, and now it's just here.
As long as it doesn't choke me in my sleep, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Unless I have one of those sex robots.
Oh my God. And you're into that.
Choke me in my sleep.
But
Give it to me, baby.
I mean, AI for me, as the artist, the artiste purist, I mean, absolutely, I don't like AI at all, but I do. I mean, it is here to stay. It's here to stay. I personally have no intention of using it for any reason whatsoever. And if anyone's gonna use it to do whatever they want with it, go ahead. You do you. I'm not worried about it. It's not gonna affect me either way. I mean, it might affect me in the future when, the rise of the robots occurs and they come choke us in our sleep.
Not the fun way.
And not the fun way.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as using it as like a creative tool, if you would just want to like sit around and do that because it's fun, then do it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like using it as a means to like create something and then expect, to be paid for it or recompense for it or of some form, I'm against that. But because I feel like it detracts from the human experience in a sense.
I'm not going to pay for a CD from an AI band.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is it can be fascinating because of the fact that AI, it takes everything that you like and makes it into a super version. It's like the candy from it's the candy from that one Jimmy Neutron episode.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is. It's all of the best flavors that you've ever had in the perfect amounts, and
But kind of makes it bad because
because it's constant perfection, and that's all you're ever going to get. So like, but also I think that also could, to another extent, because long-winded answers and such, it could create an anti-culture against it, and then have this whole new sort of punks against AI thing going on, which could also spawn more like metalheads and such, and maybe even a whole new form of genre or a whole new return to form as well.
Yeah.
With things being so perfect for so long, and now like people they could want to start reveling in that raw, unfiltered, unprocessed sound as like a full rebellion against it.
I mean, in a lesser form, that's what we saw with black metal after hair metal. Because hair
Yeah.
metal was clean and polished and shreddy and whatever else, and black metal was disgusting and poorly produced and
Mm-hmm.
all that other stuff.
Same thing for grunge. Grunge was the answer to that as well.
Mhm.
And we're kind of seeing some of that in like modern, very, very modern country music right now. Some of the younger country music artists that you hear, they're doing it without auto-tune, and it comes across. And I'm still not really the biggest fan of it. I'll say, like, musically speaking, it just doesn't really appeal to me. But I mean, hats off to them for actually, rebelling against this over-processed, overproduced bro country stuff,
Yeah.
And I fully support them. Even if I don't like it specifically for my own musical taste, I fully support it. So there's my 2 cents on AI talking about country music.
Yeah. I feel like it basically will create it's going to create like a new audience. Like I think there's going to be the people that's enthralled with AI music, and there's going to be people that's not enthralled with it. There's going to be people that prefer, good old fashioned human creation, and then the people that are in between, where it's like, it doesn't really bother me. I like both of them. It's just like a new landscape
Yeah.
that's come up. So.
All right, sounds good. So, all right. So, boys, we basically questions here pretty good. So, yeah, let's do a nice little lightning round here with the fun questions. Ready?
Cool.
Okay.
So this one I actually got to change it up a little bit. So I guess outside of music, what's our hobbies you guys do?
Video games.
Video games.
Dungeons and Dragons. Read comics.
Yeah, like comics. I thought we were doing one at a time, not all at the same time.
He said lightning round.
I like fighting games. Really, really fun. Just any kind of video game with a narrative. Just piddling around with the piano. I don't know. I work a lot. Just I don't know.
I cook. I do cooking.
Yeah.
I
like
do
to
a lot
bake.
of cooking. He's a baker.
I like to bake.
Make some good bread. Make some good
Make good pies.
make good
I'll
pies.
send you a pie.
He's not going to send
He's
you a
not gonna
pie.
send
Don't
you
listen
a
to him.
fucking pie.
He's not
Yeah, I order a pie through the mail. So yeah,
and honestly, one of our biggest hobbies is just hanging out.
We
We
just
just
hang
like just sitting and talking and hanging out on the weekends and stuff. Like we
Because
just
we see each other every single week.
yeah, every single week, and it's always not just us. It's our other groups of friends that come over. Like we're very social with each other.
That's our hobby.
Yeah,
Friendship.
Friendship is our hobby.
Friendship is our hobby.
It really is.
We just sit in the basement and watch bad movies sometimes. and
Yeah.
just as our friend Jesse would say, just straight bowling.
Just straight bullying. Yep. Which means bullshitting with each other.
He's a smart.
it's a word we made up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a word. It's an inside joke. You have to be in the know.
I don't do it. Yeah. All right, good choices. All right, this one's gonna put you in a spot. But your top 3 animes, Alan, then work our way down the line. Go.
Top 3 animes.
Yes.
Number 1, Full Metal Alchemist, and then probably Naruto Shippuden specifically, and then the last one would probably be possibly Samurai Champloo. I don't know, off the top of my head, really quick. Go ahead.
I guess I'd have to say the DBZ. I love DBZ. That's always going to be up there for me. Naruto is actually really, really good. And Full Metal Alchemist, yeah, very good.
Brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist, brothers. If you know what it.
Brotherhood. So yeah.
Yeah, see.
Dragon Ball, everything, for sure. Cowboy Bebop.
I was thinking.
And
Cowboy Bebop.
then right now, because I'm thinking about it, Attack on Titan.
I was gonna say that too. Attack on Titan. There's a Free Run. If you haven't watched Free Run, watch Free Run.
Watch Freerun.
Or also,
Really
I was
good.
debating between Attack on Titan and My Hero, but I think,
Mhm.
but yeah, Attack on Titan.
My Hero's so easy, though.
It's so easy.
It's excellent. It's excellent, but it's so
Excellent.
easy.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga is really good.
Oh.
And then Saga.
Season 2. I don't care what people say. Season 2 is better.
That was
than the first.
incredible.
They're both great. They the first one has to exist for the second
one.
season to make a strong point. They work in tandem.
Watch Vinland Saga if you haven't.
Yes.
No, I've seen it. A friend of mine got me into it. So yeah.
Good.
Good.
So good.
All right. But I think I got like halfway through season 1, so I think I have to pick it up at some point.
Gotta finish it, buddy.
All right. All great choices. All right. What would you consider your favorite food? Alan, then just go down the line again.
Oh,
That's like
favorite food? Probably pad thai. Love it. Love pad thai.
A lot simpler answer: sandwiches. You can turn them into anything.
Anything can be a sandwich.
I mean, banh mi's. That's a sandwich.
That's true.
Barbecue. That's a sandwich.
That's true.
Hot dog. That's a sandwich.
Hamburger. That's a sandwich.
Hot burger. So yeah.
Welcome to the Sandwich Cast.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Anything between 2 pieces of bread. So, yeah.
It's between. A lot of people got weaknesses for like sweets and candy. And I love bread, dude. I love bread too much. How about you?
Or you go to, I would say you go to the KFC room, it's like bacon and cheese between 2 pieces of chicken. You do it that way.
double down.
Man, I just love food.
You just love
I love food. Food visibly gets me excited. If you take me to a buffet, I went to a buffet in Vegas a few weeks ago, and I was actually shaking because I was so stoked for it.
Okay, so you didn't answer the question.
Burger.
No, I was about to say, honestly, your favorite food should be buffet.
Buffet.
Like
Buffet is my favorite food.
Loves buffet.
I can get everything, and no one judges me.
No one looks at me when I go back up there for the fifth time.
For the fifth time, yeah. Others have left and come and gone. For all they know, it's my second time.
I've been here all day.
Yeah.
Oh, so Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Golden Corral, man.
That's where we went for his graduation.
Yeah.
When I graduated college, that's where I wanted to go. Was Golden Corral.
Look at him. Brian's he's like this guy. Oh my God. I was trying to crack a joke.
I mean, I was, but I mean, like, hey, it's whatever. I mean, I did after my graduation. I think it was called All Star Pub. This was after college, and where I'm from in Southwestern PA. So yeah, I think it's just a local joint. I don't know, but it was still great.
It's great. I bet it's great.
Yeah,
it was good. So, all right, what would you consider your favorite alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks? Alan, and do the same thing.
My favorite alcoholic drink is probably a lemon drop.
Ooh.
And favorite non-alcoholic drink is probably...
Don't you say it.
No. I was going to say probably chocolate milk or Ovaltine. Chocolate milk.
Thank you.
That's
Baja. So yeah,
Oh.
we can't go wrong with Baja Blast. Everyone loves a Baja Blast.
It's great.
Yeah.
You're an American if you love a Baja Blast. So, yeah.
I'm not a drinker. I really don't drink. I drink on like very rare like social occasions. Like we'll be hanging out doing something, and every now and then I'll drink something. But if I do drink, I like ciders. I prefer to drink cider of some kind. Like it doesn't really. I'm not in it enough to be like this specific cider, this specific whatever. I don't know. It's just cider. Favorite drink? Milk. Hands down. Love milk.
My countries are cold.
Yeah.
So,
Just milk.
Favorite? I don't drink either. Same. I drink even less than Shane does. So I would say when I've had mixed drinks in the long distant past, the one I enjoyed the most was a White Russian. It's nice and creamy. But guess what's in White Russian milk? So that's the third line here. But my favorite, Dr. Pepper is my favorite. Probably just my go-to.
We're all
almost
just a bunch
bought-
of milk drinkers.
I almost bought a Dr. Pepper hat at Walmart the other day.
Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper too.
And Mr. Pibb. I mean, Mr. Pibb preferred, but Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper, same umbrella. So
We're very passionate about stupid things.
About very dumb things, yeah.
well, don't even get me and Shane started on the value menus at restaurants.
Oh yeah, don't. Unless you want to save some serious cash.
we go for the Happy Meals whenever we go to McDonald's. So yeah. All right. All good choices. All right. For lots of fun questions, guess which bands have you been listening to recently? Let's say top 3 bands you've been listening to recently. Do it like that.
Okay.
I'll let you start, William.
Top 3 bands I'm listening to recently. This band from Chicago called French Police. They're just like this
Cool, sad boy post-punk band
that I found that I've enjoyed.
this vaporwave band called Corp with like CORP with like a bunch of like not real kanji symbols in front of it. I'm really liking that recently. And then I've been going back through and listening to a lot of the Faceless, like because I haven't listened to like Planetary Duality and like Akeldama and some of those things in a while. So while I was walking around recently, I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to that Ancient Covenant. And I was like, man, this album still is phenomenal. Yeah. I wish they would still make music. But yeah, that's the top 3 I'm listening to right now. I wouldn't say my top 3 favorite bands ever, but that's who I'm listening to right now.
Yeah, I'm listening to, I actually just recently jumped back into Kalma. They're always a constant throughout my life. I love Kalma. I've been listening to a band called I think it's Ultima or Ultimia. I don't know. I just been listening to them. They're just more melodic death metal. They're really good. And I've been listening to Fintroll. So
good, so good.
For me, recently, I guess the latest things I've been listening to is I've been on a little bit of an Opeth. I went on an Opeth kick the other day, and then some Porter Robinson, and probably My Chemical Romance. I listened to the Black Parade again the other day because it's always perfect. That's my favorite album of all time. So that's my top three. Not my top three bands, as Willie had said, but my recent listens has probably been those.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, all great choices right there. So, all right. Boys, we're down to one more question on my podcast, but I guess before we jump into it, would you like to ask me anything or say any final words?
What's your top 3 favorite anime?
Yeah, what's your top 3 favorite anime?
You know what? I really kind of fell off the bandwagon, to be honest, there too. But the last one I did see was...
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. It's fine.
What's your top 3 shows, then, that you watched instead?
I'll say the anime, but it was Vinland Saga was in there, and then I was really into Bleach for a good while there, too.
Yeah, I've been watching... Me and Drake's been watching the 1,000-Year Blood War. It's going pretty good.
Yeah, even though he screwed up in the manga so bad with that one, but it seems like he kind of redeemed himself. So, see, there was the Bleach one. You know, it's either Hunter x Hunter or Naruto I want to kind of get back into because I never really finished watching them. So.
Yeah, we just finished watching Naruto. Like what, about 2 months ago?
Probably
something like that. It's really good. Still really good.
But if you want shows, I mean, I'm on and off with Sopranos because I never really finished watching it.
I love the Sopranos.
Some gabagool.
You hit a big one with them.
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, listen to your Uncle Tony.
It's so good. I love that show. I hate his mom, though.
God, I hate his mom and his sister.
Good acting, though. You know, it's good acting when you hate a character.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When it's good acting, yeah.
But I was in a Game of Thrones for a good while, but then obviously, you know the whole story with that one. It kind of died off after season 4.
Yeah.
Not really sure about a third one because I haven't really done too much TV, to be honest, recently.
So, I'll be honest.
So I'll have to leave the one blank for now, then to be continued.
You think about it. You get back to us when you're ready. Just send me a message, and I'll tell everybody. We'll wait in suspense until
he'll send you that pie.
I'll send you that pie. It'll all work out. It'll all work out.
I don't know. Is this an intimidation tactic now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like one of those cartoon ones where it just blows up then in your face or something.
Yeah.
Like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You killed him. The boy made you sweat her tears.
You killed him.
That'll do, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's our final thought.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. Anything else? Or
Check out the album. It's coming out August 1st. Closure. Everywhere you stream music. Make sure you do it.
He was talking about us asking him, and I would like to ask him.
No, he said final thoughts or any comments.
Oh.
He said both.
What did you mean, Brian?
I've had both, so. But he at least got the album, but do you have any other questions?
Well, I was wanting to ask you about like your whole interviewing, like what you're doing here with us. Like, how long have you been doing that, and like how you got interested in it?
Well, it started mainly in 2020, but I never really officially launched it until like February of 2021. So it first just started off with like drummers on YouTube, for instance, or just mainly doing it as a hobby. Maybe some sort of music projects or something like that. But it was mainly on there. And then I found people who were also doing indie rock and all that sort of stuff. It was mainly there's this group, as well as also, we should call them promoters in a certain sense, was Box and Sticks. They got me into the indie community on their Facebook group, Band Together, which is now a private group. I don't know how hard it is to actually join private groups, but regardless, I found a bunch of people on there, just invited them on, and afterwards, I made a proactive tactic to reach out to people, mainly on Facebook. I do use Instagram a little bit every now and again, but mainly through Facebook. And then I just see either something I like right there or just the first thing I see. It's like, I'll follow them, and then it's 50-50. So I'll reach out and see what they say.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah, dude. Keep it up.
Keep it up. It's been a great experience.
Yeah,
yes, it has.
It's been really fun.
I want to say thank you too for giving us the opportunity to be able to do this too.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate you letting us come on.
Yeah.
No worries. Are we all good? Just want to be fair.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Here's how the last question goes, and then Alan, you can start. We'll just go down the line like how we've been doing it. So, given the amount of negativity you've been seeing in the world these days, I used to center around COVID back in the day, but given the amount of negativity you see, what would be your message of hope for people who've been impacted by that negativity, both musicians and people-wise, so they could try to move forward with their lives?
Like a good positive message. Ask that question one more time so I can understand it better.
What would be your message of hope for people who've been impacted by any sort of negativity in their lives, so they can move forward with their lives?
You kind of have to learn to forgive and forget. If you keep on letting it bother you, even if you're making decisions that you think are great decisions, if they are still based on an anger that you may feel that is basically been caused by something that happened to you or that by someone who wronged you in some way, if you are still making decisions based around that, even if you think they're positive, they're probably still not going to be great for you. So I would say you got to have to learn to forgive and forget, and then you move on with your life. Every day is a new chapter.
Yeah. I guess when it comes to like external negativity, for me, it's like you just have to learn to roll with the punches sometimes. Like you just gotta pick up what you're doing and move on. But for me personally, like a lot of like negativity that ever comes in my life it's always been like my own fault. It's like, I think people are too hard on themselves a lot and don't like respect themselves as much as they may respect like other people in their lives. So you need to learn to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn how to get along with yourself and be okay with who you are. And that's one of the biggest things that's helped me throughout my life. So,
and it's not your job to save the world.
Yeah, it's not your job to save the world or anything. It's just you need to be the best you that you can be around the people that you know. So,
I don't know. It's an interesting question.
He's never been sad a day in his life.
That's not true.
I know.
I guess my thought with that is always like similar to what Shane said, but like just remember that 3 steps forward and 2 steps back still progress, even when it doesn't feel like it's progress.
Mm-hmm.
And like even when life's always worth living and moving forward with it, even when it doesn't. And it's just about keeping perspective and knowing that this too shall pass, even when it doesn't feel like it's going to. And you have to be able to find that way to get through the day. And, it might not be clear and and it's okay to feel like shit sometimes, but it's just about getting back up. And like I said, taking a couple steps, and if you backslide, you do, but it's just about you take another couple steps the next day, and
progress is progress.
Progress is progress.
I'd say as a further, an amendment for everything, I would say, be the change you want to see in the world, but do it with an open and forgiving heart.
Yeah.
Your turn was over.
But my words were so good that time.
I'm gonna shut it down myself, and I don't have an open heart to you, Alan.
Well, I guess it backfired, to say the least. All right. But nonetheless, spoke like a bunch of true prodigies.
Shit.
All right. So, boys, we reached the end of my podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour and 40 minutes. Before we close out, want to give any shout-outs to anybody?
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Love you.
I just want to thank, whoever. I guess not. Hi, Andrew. Andrew called me today. He called me this morning. He was like, "Hey guys, I heard the song you released, and I just wanted to call you and let you know that it's really good." I was like, "Oh, thanks, Andrew." Andrew's one of our friends that you don't know.
Yes. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. But yeah, I mean,
I just want to say hello and thank you to anybody who listened to the album or did anything with it and just like has ever been a fan and anything like that. Because you're why we decided part of why we're doing this still. You know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people who were actually genuinely interested in us, and so it is meant. And, you know, I've said it before, but it has meant the absolute world to us to be able to still do this and have, you know, finding people that resonate with it while we continue to make music that resonates more with us too. So,
what about you?
Hi, Drake's mom.
Drake's mom. And hi, Drake. Since you're not here.
I mean, shout outs. I don't know. I guess I just haven't spoken enough people to shout out to people lately.
Honestly, I've never been asked to do a shout out, so this is the first time I've ever done a shout out. I don't know what.
Can I just dab real quick?
That's so not cool.
I'm sorry.
It hasn't been cool in 10 years. I know that. That's why I do it.
I don't think it was cool ever.
It wasn't real.
Any shout outs at all, though? I'd say check out any of Nashville's metal scene specifically. Sure. My favorites, I may have already mentioned already, Oubliette, While You Were Asleep, and Ophusius, when they're still doing things, good stuff. Black metal, tech death, and blackened tech death in a sort of way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are some of my favorites that's off the top of my head right now. If I was going to shout out some bands, other than that, go listen to My Chemical Romance.
Oh my gosh.
Eat a sandwich.
Eat a sandwich.
And Eldercall. We give a shout out to Eldercall there too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. No worries. And just real quick, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so I can check you out and interact?
So we're on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. We're on YouTube. We post on Facebook and Instagram mainly, like in terms of like what we actually interact with for the most part. We do some stuff with Threads, but kind of wishy-washy, I'll be honest, because I just never understood the Twitter format. I hate it. I think it's stupid. 140 characters is dumb. Anyway, so like
it's just texting.
It's just texting. I just want to text my. That's a different conversation. But yeah, we're on pretty much every single streaming platform you can think of. We have Bandcamp, so you can go there. We have a T-shirt for sale on there, and the album will be on sale for there. If you want a digital copy of the album, that'll be there. And if you buy a T-shirt, you get a copy of the digital album too. So incentive to buy some shirts. Rep that Eldercall merch, and like I said, everywhere else you stream music. And yeah.
All right, sounds good. So you heard from these guys right here, and to close it out. So. Everyone, my guests today were Alan, Shane, and Waleed, hailing from the lovely state of Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, to be more exact. So they're part of the band Eldercall. So go hit them on all streaming platforms, all social media, and everything there too. Let's go help our brothers out right there too. So it's got to kick some major ass. So I think you guys will make some posts, maybe something where down the road when we'll do some shows in that. So I'll leave it up to you guys. So, but nonetheless, y'all stay safe because there's one pretty fucked up world out there.
You too, bro.
You too, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wait, hold up. I just need a quick pose for everybody. Stay tuned, y'all.